right, so you guys see my screen. Oh, sorry, I didn't see you guys. Do you guys give me a thumbs up?
Yes, we can
Cool.
see it.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. So I was looking at a different screen, so I didn't know if you guys said yes or no. Okay, so my screen here, this is the LinkedIn helper. So basically what this does, it connects to your LinkedIn account. It's basically, it's a platform or a program on your computer that runs. You have to either start it and stop it for it to run, but it mimics um, as if it was you on another computer actually going through and doing all these tasks that are going to be automated. So it mimics it in a way that it looks natural, like as if it was a human, so that it doesn't get detected by LinkedIn, and kind of uh, close your account, whatever. So I can even show you an example of what it's doing in the background where it actually looks like it's kind of going to different pages, pulling up a person's profile, um, sending a message, right? It all looks pretty natural. So again, like I said, you connect it to your LinkedIn account, and then what you'll do is you'll set up just, it's a campaign, and there's some templates that you can start from through the platform, or you can kind of customize and create your own. So what I did, I have two separate campaigns going through this account. I have one that I'm targeting churches all over the US that I'm trying to push to get leads for commercial side on the commercial solar. I also have a campaign going for solar professionals on LinkedIn that I'm using to recruit in Texas. So it's only targeting people who are solar pros in Texas currently. So what's cool about this, if I here and I go with this queue, and I'll go back to what the automations are doing, but if I'm, say for example, I wanted to target these people, I'm going to hit this plus button. This would actually work. It works really, really well if you have already a Sales Navigator account within your LinkedIn, because it'll actually give you more additional features and filters and stuff like that, which is really cool. But if you don't, you can actually just go here and hit the search page. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to add a bunch of profiles into the system so we can start doing the automations. So as an example, you can see here it brought up my account in LinkedIn. So it's as if I'm logged in. And what I'll do is I can go here and just put, um, solar sales just for now, just for example's sake. Solar sales. I want this to be filtered through people so that these are actual people in the account. I can then filter it by location. So I only want people in the United States, or I could even go again, like California.
Or Puerto Rico.
California, United States. What did you say, Dana?
Or Puerto Rico. You could do
Yeah, you
Puerto
could
Rico.
go Puerto Rico. So I'm going to show results of all the people that have solar cells in their account. They're in California. I could filter by my first connection, second, third connections if you want. You could even, by company if you want to target a specific company. And there's obviously other filters here you could filter too. But what it's going to do as soon as so I have all this list pages that shows 11,000 results of people that are in California that have solar cells in their profile. All I have to do is hit start collecting. It's going to automatically start going through page by page and start connecting with every single one of these people that have that in the profile. And then it's going to collect them. It's going to collect at least 1,000 each time you do it. It has a max of 1,000, and then once that runs through all those, then you could do it again. So it's that simple. That's how you can collect all of the people that you want to target. Once you have that list, I'm going to go back and show you campaigns. See here in the queue, here's all the list of people that I had previously in this campaign added to this target. So that's all the ones that are in the queue, and then it's gonna right here on the left. You can see excluded. Well, you can ignore that. That's because this is a different campaign. It's processed 512. It's 77 people have accepted it. And these are just from other data here from 6 will reply, but that doesn't really, you don't need to worry about that. So
The
I had at least
77 accepted, are you sending connection request?
correct. Yep. sending a connection request with a message. So let me show you what that workflow or the automation looks like. So there's still 344 in the queue. And then here's what happens. So in the queue, oops, let me go back. It's going to invite on the second and third level connections. And it's going to send this message here. Hello, first name. I noticed you're connected with, this is a tag that's going to grab the mutual first name. So what I'm doing here is I'm saying we have a mutual friend that is our first connections. So that first name, Brad, right? We have a mutual first name. Brad actually sent me your way, so I thought we could connect. Or if you don't have a mutual connection, else it's going to say, I noticed you were in this position, solar rep at this company. I'd like to connect and follow other solar pros in the industry. Right, so that's all I'm doing. And it's just sending that connection message and asking them to connect. Once they have accepted, the next part of this queue is going to filter out the contacts out of the network. Right, it's going to just filter out, making sure they are now my first connection of mine, that they've accepted it. And then what this is going to endorse endorse them for any one of their things in their profile. So I'm just kind of, friendly, hey, I'm just going to endorse you for this skill. And then it's going to like or comment on one of their posts. So they can see that I'm doing stuff for them. And then it's going to wait a day. It's going to send a message. It's just another friendly message. Just a quick note to say thank you for connecting LinkedIn. Right. So I'm not trying to sell anything at this point. I'm just sending another warm connection message. It's going to check and see if they replied to that. So that's where you see this little middle part where it says replies. If they replied, it'll show up here. And if they replied, it's going to stop the automation, because you don't want to, like, hey, they replied and said, hey, how are you? Whatever, right? You don't want to keep just sending them messages. So it's going to stop it, and you can see which of these people have replied. So let me show you an example right here. So this one right here, someone replied. So this person has said, thanks, I'm already booked with 4 other companies. That's what this person said. So it's stopped it, and I can either hit this button to just let it keep going to the next step, or I can log in, go back into the LinkedIn account and personally respond back to them and connect with them that way. So again, it sends out another message after that, checks it, and then here's where I kind of spill out the beans of kind of what we're offering. Right, here's the benefit of selling with us with this company. Right, so here's kind of everything we have here. Then it's going to check again. It's just kind of going through. It's just kind of a drip system, just like I do with emails or text messaging. It's very similar. It's just that same process of you're just dripping on them, and hopefully you're going to capture them and bring them on board. It's going to go through the same process. So it waits a day. Maybe this might be 3 days. I can't remember, but then it sends a message. Again, just to reiterate what we're doing. And it does that a couple more times. Then it's done. And so you can do that with obviously any industry. You say, I want to target lead companies. I want to target real estate companies. I want to target roof companies, and you just create a messaging that's focused in that industry. So just keep in mind, if you're going to do multiple campaigns, you have certain amount of actions and connects you can do per day. Otherwise, that's where LinkedIn will come back and shut down your account because you're doing too many connections. So this platform, you see the last 24 hours, actions 57 of 200. So I can do 200 actions every 24 hours. An action is sending a connection request, sending a message, sending an endorsement, right? So those are each an action. They just, you want to make sure this looks natural. And then you have, so is it somewhere? It should have about 60 connection requests every 24 hours. Usually shows it somewhere.
That's like the cap is 60.
Yeah, for every 24 hours. If you did it actually through LinkedIn, your account manually, I think they only allow you to do 10 per day. but through this platform, they're able to make it to where you could do at least 60. And you actually could adjust that if you feel like, if I went to the settings, so I can increase those max actions per 24 hours. By default, it sits to like 150 or 200. And you can increase it as you kind of warm up your account so that, LinkedIn sees, oh, this person does do that many actions every day. They do it, right? And so you can warm it up a little bit, and you can increase those connections per 24. Right now it says 60, and you can increase that, but just kind of, I wouldn't abuse it, because then, LinkedIn might flag your account.
Right, yeah.
But it's a great way to just automate all this process. And then you're just going in and responding to people, right? And building connections. And what I've done as well, I created this other little campaign. It's called Commercial Leads to My CRM, or just Leads to CRM. I can say, for example, I go to this campaign. So say, for example, I responded to this guy here, and I kind of responded, say, hey, yeah, I see that you're with this guy's actually, I noticed he's in Powur and in Sunrun. So, hey, I'm within Powur too. And I kind of started talking to him, and it's like, oh, I'm interested in, talking more. I can come here and go add to tag, and I can select this Commercial Leads to CRM and just add them to that campaign on here. And what this is doing is I've set this up with, it's called a webhook, and it's sending a webhook connected to my CRM on Go High Level, and it's just going to send all of his contact information over to my Go High Level account, where I can then use that to kind of communicate with them or use my pipeline.
I was going to ask, because I know in the past we ran Indeed ads, and Indeed only allows X amount of interactions or whatever. And so we have to pull their data and place them in another CRM to drip on them or whatever.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yep.
There's a way to kind of connect this to
Yep.
Go High
And
Level.
you could even, so this is actually also really cool. You could just, they have what's called it's the email scraper on here. So say, for example, you don't want to go through all this and use this platform to message them. You could use their tool to just scrape, I think it's like 2,000 emails every, I can't remember how much. It was quite a bit. There's a lot of emails. You could scrape all the emails that at least are showing up in LinkedIn, and you can just import those into like a CRM and use that to drip on them too, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's I was going to show you guys.
Don't tell David Steele, but I still don't have a LinkedIn. And once you turn off the recording, I'll say why.
Any other guys got any questions about it?
The webhook that you use, is that something that Zach can program for me to go, like, what are you using to go into the Go High Level? Because I'm using your Go High Level. I could have it go from LinkedIn over to your platform.
Yeah, so let's see. So let me show you. So here's this campaign that I have for the webhook. So right now it says, so here's the automation. So it says visit and extract the profile. So what it's doing is it's going to pull the profile data from, as soon as I add that contact to this automation, it's going to visit that profiles page and collect their information. And it's just going to find their profile email. Then it's going to use this as send person to webhook. So on here, in the platform, there's a little plugin. You say I want to use webhook, and you just plug the webhook into here, and this data, this little bar right here. So I'm using Zapier to kind of funnel that through. So I have this platform, and then Zapier, it creates a webhook for you, and then it'll create the URL for the webhook, and then I pull that webhook and I just put it in here. So then from there, Zapier is pulling whatever data we put here using the webhook into Zapier, and then from Zapier, I'm then pushing that over to the CRM. Does that make sense, Terry? So
Yeah.
it's relatively simple. It's once you just know the pieces.
Okay.
Zapier will create the webhook for you. You just make sure you put the webhook here into this platform because it's going to pull it from here, and then it then pushes that over to your CRM. And you can have a free, I think there's a free account for Zapier as well that would allow you to do it if you don't have a paid subscription.
I think it has like limited
It is
access
limited.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it
I
just
think
depends on
I'll
how
show
much you're pushing.
Zach. I think I'll show Zach this video. Say, Zach.
Yeah, let him figure it out.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Any other questions? But again, I think to me, I think the biggest benefit is just learning how to network, right? Is using a tool like this to automate it for you, which is super easy. And then you're just networking with all these people in your industry or however you want to push that marketing. And again, I think with new reps, it's showing them just the skill set of networking, not necessarily the tool, right? Once they kind of get some momentum, they learn how to do it and they get some money, whatever, then they can invest in tools like this. But it's just a matter of learning the skill set of just networking, right? It's just a numbers game, just like it is a sales. You're just going to start networking with people and connecting with them and offering, hey, this is what we're doing. This is how you can make an additional income by referring people over to us, and we'll sell it, or however you want to position that. But I think that's an easy way to help new reps get leads, I think, right? It's
What's
building that network.
What's the advantage to having the LinkedIn Navigator with this program?
So LinkedIn Navigator allows you to do a lot more connection. So there's a lot of like little things that are benefits of the LinkedIn Navigator. So you can do more connection requests. You can do a lot more filtering. So you can narrow your filtering down a lot more. There's like, how many, if you're looking at businesses, how many employees do they have? What's their income, right? So as long as that business has all the information in the profile, there's a lot more filtering you can do if you want to narrow down your search. You can send messages through like their in-mail messaging platform through that as well, instead of just connection requests. So if you have that, it'll allow you to, go through it a lot quicker and get a lot more.
Would you want to really filter it down? If this is like automating those connections, like would you really want to filter? Like, wouldn't the point of this be to get you, your brand, your product in front of as many professionals as possible, whether they exactly be in solar door to door,
I mean, it just depends on obviously the industry, I think and who you're targeting. So sometimes it makes sense and sometimes it doesn't. If you say, for example, you've been doing it for a while and you understand out of these players who actually ends up typically signing up. Oh, I know that companies that have 10 plus employees are ones that actually are willing to come over and send us referrals, right? Or something like that. So it just depends. So yes and no.
Because like if you're trying to set up like referral partners, I mean, just anyone can be a referral partner, But if we're looking for
right,
like a
it's
closer in Texas or something, then that's where we probably want to filter down pretty aggressively.
Yeah. I mean, you'd want to definitely filter it at least to the industry, right? Because you want to make sure your messaging is catered to them.
Right. Makes sense.
Does Powur have something already pre-done that we can put in the messaging about how fantastic Powur is? Like, is there scripts in our marketing stuff to put into LinkedIn? Something like this, so we know, what to say.
I know they have some scripts and some messaging. I don't know if it's specifically built out for LinkedIn.
Okay.
Let's look.
Because I have to sign off here in just a moment. Is there anything else we're going to cover besides this?
Unless you got something else on your mind.
Thank you, Bo, very much for going through this. Thank you.
I'm not ready for this yet.